She climbed onto my bed without permission, tossed her clothes aside, and smiled mischievously. The hum of the engines was steady. The stars glittered beyond the viewing window, and yet something in the ship's communication systems hinted that nothing would remain normal. Aaron had been alone for weeks. Most of the crew had rotated back to the colony on Rhea Prime, leaving him to monitor deep space anomalies. It was the kind of work humans were feared for, not because it was difficult, but because it required patience, intuition, and a refusal to panic in moments where technology alone could not explain the unknown. He was sipping recycled coffee from a metallic mug when the sudden alert jolted him. A blinking light on the hallway sensor indicated movement near the docking bay, movement that should have been impossible. "Strange," he muttered. The sensors had not recorded any incoming ships. He frowned and pushed himself from the chair, walking toward the hall. His boots echoed lightly against the metal floor. The ship's corridors were narrow, white panels reflecting the soft glow of ceiling lights. Everything seemed normal. Yet as he reached the docking bay, he froze. She stood there. A figure, small and human-like, but with features he had never seen before, was simply standing in the middle of the bay. Her silver hair glimmered faintly under the artificial light, and her eyes, they were unlike any Aaron had encountered, a luminous violet that seemed to hold the depth of a galaxy. She did not move as he approached. She just smiled. "Who are you?" Aaron asked cautiously, keeping his hands away from the sidearm at his hip. "I am Talai," she said, voice soft yet clear. "I need your help." Aaron blinked. There was something strange about her presence. Ships didn't just appear on your vessel without clearance. And yet there she was. "Help," he repeated. How did you even get aboard?" Talai did not answer immediately. Instead, she walked toward the ship's interior, her steps light as though gravity barely affected her. Aaron hesitated for a moment but followed. "Listen," she said finally. "I am not from your world. I was fleeing." That word sent a shiver down his spine. Fleeing from what? His mind raced through possibilities, pirates, hostile aliens, rogue AI, but he quickly realized her fear was genuine. It was raw, visible in the way she held herself, not the kind of fear actors could replicate, but the kind that could only come from true danger. "Fleeing from who?" he asked. Talai's lips pressed together. She looked away, then returned her gaze. "From the Zerath Dominion. They destroyed my home planet. I was trying to escape when your ship appeared." Aaron felt a familiar surge. This was the reason humans were respected across the galaxy. Humans did not back down from the unknown. They did not hesitate to protect, investigate, and survive. And now here was a life depending on him. "You expect me to believe you just appeared and I should trust you?" Aaron said. Talai nodded. Her expression was earnest. "Yes, I have nowhere else to go." The words hit him differently than a simple warning. Something about her aura, the faint glow of her hair and eyes, suggested she was telling the truth. Aaron made a decision, one that humans often did in moments like this. He would take a risk. "All right," he said finally. "You stay here, but don't try anything." "I need to check the ship first." Talai's nod was subtle, almost hesitant. "I understand." He led her to the control room, but his mind raced with questions. How did she survive interstellar travel alone? Her species did not appear to require a spacesuit, yet she had crossed a void that could have killed anyone in seconds. And why had the EOS Explorer's sensors not detected her entry? The control room was quiet except for the low hum of consoles. Aaron activated the scanning systems and began checking every compartment. Nothing seemed disturbed, no breaches, no indication of a hidden boarding pod, yet she had arrived. "Commander," Talai said softly, "they will come for me, soon." Aaron's hands froze over the console. "Who?" "The Zerath Dominion," she whispered. "They hunt those who survive, they leave nothing." Aaron's jaw tightened. Humans had encountered alien threats before. Some were diplomatic, some were aggressive. But the Zerath Dominion sounded like a force that left no room for negotiation. His instincts told him she spoke the truth. "Where is your ship?" he asked. "I had none," she admitted. "It was destroyed. I escaped in what I could find." The words left a weight in the room. Aaron understood now why she had risked everything to board his ship. And humans, despite being far from the center of galactic power, had a knack for turning desperate situations into survival opportunities. "I can help you," he said finally. "But first you need to stay in the observation deck. I can lock down the ship. Make sure no one can enter without clearance." Talai's face brightened faintly. "Thank you." Aaron moved quickly. He activated security protocols, sealing all access points to the ship. The ES Explorer was a research vessel, not a warship, but humans had a way of improvising defenses that surprised almost everyone in the galaxy. Once the locks were secure, he returned to Talai. "We need a plan. They'll track you, I'm sure. Your energy signature, or whatever you used to survive, will leave a trail." Talai looked down, then back at him. "I don't know how far behind they are, hours, days, but I know they won't stop until—" Her voice trailed off. "Until they catch you," Aaron finished for her. She nodded, "Yes." The room fell silent for a moment, save for the hum of the engines. Aaron studied her. Humans had been celebrated in the galaxy not just for their strength, but for their courage, curiosity, and ingenuity. And now he realized those same traits would be needed to protect this strange girl from an enemy who would stop at nothing. "All right," he said. "We'll start with the basics. I need to know everything about your people, your planet, and the Dominion. Anything you can tell me will help, and we'll need to prepare the ship. Shields, navigation, sensors, all of it. If they come for you, they won't expect humans to fight back, but we can." Talai nodded. She seemed both relieved and nervous. I will tell you everything. But you must promise me one thing." "Name it. Promise me you will not let them take me alive." Her voice was firm but not angry. It was the same kind of resolve humans often faced when making impossible choices. Aaron understood. He had faced impossible choices before. He knew the cost of failure. "I promise," he said. For the first time in weeks, he felt a spark of excitement. Space was supposed to be lonely, routine, predictable, but humans thrived on unpredictability. And now, with Talai aboard, the ES Explorer was no longer just a research vessel. It was a battlefield, a refuge, and perhaps the start of something greater. Over the next few hours, Aaron and Talai exchanged information. Her species had unique technology, much of it incomprehensible at first glance, but humans had a gift for understanding the unfamiliar. Together, they began mapping a strategy: how to avoid pursuit, how to use the ship's systems creatively, and how to prepare for the worst. As the first faint signals of the Dominion's fleet appeared on long-range sensors, Aaron felt the familiar thrill. Danger, yes, but also opportunity. Humanity was known for turning desperate odds into triumphs. And tonight, in the cold void of space, that spirit would be tested once again. Talai looked at him, her violet eyes reflecting the distant stars. "Do you always do this? Take risks like this?" Aaron smiled faintly. "Not always, but sometimes it's the only way to survive." And with that, the ship's engines hummed louder, shields glimmered with the first sign of energy, and the journey, human ingenuity versus unstoppable alien force, truly began. In the silence between the stars, one human and one alien prepared to change the outcome of an encounter no one thought they could survive. And somewhere in the galaxy beyond, the Zerath Dominion began their pursuit, unaware that humanity had just entered the game. The long-range sensor alarm did not scream. It did not flash red. It simply changed color, a soft amber glow spreading across the main console. Commander Aaron Voss noticed it instantly. Humans were good at noticing small changes. It was one of the many reasons other species underestimated them at first and regretted it later. Aaron leaned forward, eyes scanning the data stream. Multiple energy signatures, not natural. Not debris, ships. Talai stood beside him, her posture stiff. She did not need to look at the screen to know what it meant. "They are closer than I hoped," she said quietly. "How close?" Aaron asked. "Too close to feel safe," she replied. Aaron exhaled slowly. Panic never helped. Humans had learned that long ago. Instead, he reached out and adjusted the sensor filter, narrowing the range and boosting clarity. The shapes sharpened into clear forms, angular vessels, sharp-edged and dark, moving in perfect formation. "The Zerath Dominion," Aaron said. "They like flying in straight lines." Talai tilted her head. "How do you know?" "Because anyone who flies like that expects fear," Aaron replied. "They don't expect creativity." The ES Explorer was not built for combat. It had no heavy weapons, no reinforced armor. But it had something the Dominion ships lacked: adaptability. Human ships were famous for being modified far beyond their original purpose. Aaron tapped a few commands, rerouting power from non-essential systems. "Talai," he said, "I need to know more about how they track you." "Energy signals, something biological." She hesitated, then nodded. "My people use a resonance field. It allows us to survive extreme conditions. The Dominion learned how to detect it." "Can you shut it off?" Aaron asked. For a short time, she said, but it weakens me. Aaron frowned. He did not like plans that involved weakening allies. We'll use it carefully, then. The ships on the screen adjusted course slightly. They were probing, testing. They know we're here, Aaron said, but they don't know what we'll do next. That was good. Uncertainty was a weapon humans used well. Aaron opened a ship-wide channel. Computer, initiate Ghost Drift Protocol. The lights dimmed slightly as the engines shifted to a quieter mode. Heat output dropped. The ship's profile on enemy sensors would blur, blending into background radiation. Talai watched in amazement. You can do that? We weren't supposed to, Aaron said, but humans don't like supposed to. The Zerath ship slowed. One broke formation, scanning a wide arc. They're confused, Talai whispered. Good, Aaron said. Confused enemies make mistakes. Minutes passed. The silence felt heavy. Aaron used the time to study the enemy ships. Their hulls were thick, layered with energy plating, powerful but rigid. Their movement patterns were predictable. Too organized, Aaron muttered. Too confident. Talai glanced at him. You sound like you fought them before. I haven't, he said, but I've fought bullies, same mindset. Suddenly, one of the Zerath ships fired a scanning pulse. The wave rippled through space, brushing the EOS Explorer like a cold wind. Talai staggered, gripping the console. Talai, Aaron said, steadying her. They're increasing the scan strength, she gasped. They're getting closer. Aaron clenched his jaw. All right, time for step 2. He input a rapid series of commands. The ship's external panels shifted slightly, releasing dozens of small objects into space. At first glance, they looked like debris. What are those? Talai asked. Signal decoys, Aaron said. Each one mimics our energy signature. The decoys drifted outward, scattering in different directions. Almost instantly, 2 Zerath ships broke formation and followed false trails. Talai's eyes widened. They took the bait. Never assume humans fight fair, Aaron replied, but the main Dominion ship did not follow. It slowed, then adjusted its sensors. The lead ship is smarter, Talai warned. It's the commander. Aaron nodded. Figures. The Zerath commander ship sent out a tight beam signal, slicing through the decoys and locking briefly onto the EOS Explorer. They found us, Aaron said calmly, but not for long. He pulled a lever near the navigation console. The stars outside the viewport twisted as the ship altered trajectory sharply, diving toward a dense nebula ahead. The nebula was beautiful and deadly, clouds of charged particles, unpredictable currents, and sensor interference strong enough to blind most ships. They won't follow us in there, Talai said. Oh, they will, Aaron said. They just won't like it. As the EOS Explorer entered the nebula, the ship shuddered, systems flickered, alarms chirped softly. Shields holding, Aaron said. Barely. The Zerath ships hesitated at the nebula's edge. Then one by one they followed. Why would they do that? Talai asked. Because the Dominion does not accept failure, Aaron replied. Ever. Inside the nebula, visibility dropped to almost nothing. Energy storms crackled around the ship, arcs of light dancing like living things. Aaron guided the ship manually, hands steady, eyes focused. Most species rely too much on automation, he said. Humans learned early that machines can fail. A sudden surge rocked the ship. The lights dimmed, then stabilized. Close call, Aaron muttered. Behind them, one of the Zerath ships was not so lucky. A bright flash lit the nebula as it collided with a charged pocket, its systems overwhelmed. Talai gasped. They lost one. Aaron did not smile. That'll make the rest angry. Sure enough, the remaining ships spread out, adjusting tactics. They were learning. The lead ship fired a precision energy bolt. It grazed the EOS Explorer's shields, sending vibrations through the hull. Damage? Talai asked. Minor, Aaron said, but they're adapting. He glanced at Talai. Can you do something with your resonance field? Something unpredictable. She thought for a moment, then nodded slowly. I can create a pulse, short range. It might disrupt their sensors. Do it, Aaron said. On my mark. He waited until the lead ship closed in, its massive shape looming through the nebula haze. Now. Talai focused, her eyes glowing faintly. A wave of energy burst outward, invisible but powerful. The effect was immediate. The Zerath ship's formations broke apart. Sensor beams scattered wildly. One ship veered off course, nearly colliding with another. They're blind, Talai said, breathing hard. Perfect, Aaron replied. He didn't attack. He didn't flee straight away either. Instead, he led the EOS Explorer deeper into the nebula, weaving through hazards only a human pilot would dare approach. Minutes stretched into an hour. Slowly, one by one, the Zerath ships withdrew, retreating to the nebula's edge. "They're pulling back," Talai said in disbelief. "They'll regroup," Aaron replied. "This isn't over." The ship emerged from the nebula into calmer space. The engines hummed softly as Aaron reduced power output. Talai sank into a seat, exhausted. "You could have escaped alone. Why did you stay and fight?" Aaron looked at the stars. "Humans don't like being chased, and we don't like seeing others hunted." Talai studied him. "Your people are different," he smiled faintly. "So I've been told." But even as the immediate danger passed, Aaron knew the truth. The Zerath Dominion would not forget this encounter. They had tasted resistance, and that made things far more dangerous. Far away beyond the nebula, the Zerath commander watched sensor data replay again and again. A human ship, outnumbered, outmatched, yet it had survived. "Identify this species," the commander ordered. The answer came quickly. "Humans." The commander's grip tightened. "Then prepare the fleet. This is no longer a retrieval mission." Back aboard the EOS Explorer, Aaron did not know those exact words, but he felt the shift in the air, the sense that something bigger had begun. Part 2 ended not with victory, but with a warning. Humanity had been noticed. The EOS Explorer drifted quietly through open space, its engines running at minimum output. Commander Aaron Voss allowed himself a short moment to breathe. The nebula was far behind them now, but the danger had not ended. Humans knew this better than most. Surviving one encounter did not mean the fight was over. It usually meant the fight had just begun. Talai sat near the observation window, watching distant stars slide past. Her glow had faded, replaced by a tired calm. The resonance pulse she had used had drained her more than she expected. "You should rest," Aaron said gently. "I will," she replied, "but my thoughts are loud." Aaron understood that feeling. He turned back to the console and expanded the sensor range. What he saw made his jaw tighten. Multiple signals, not Zerath ships this time, but others. Unknown vessels were gathering near a nearby trade corridor. Some were old, patched together from different designs. Others were sleek and well-armed. None of them belonged to a single group. "That's not normal," Aaron muttered. Talai joined him, eyes narrowing as she studied the screen. "They are watching." "Who are they?" Aaron asked. "Many things," Talai said. "Scavengers, traders, refugee fleets. Races who learn to stay hidden when the Dominion expands." Aaron leaned back slightly. "So we're not alone." "No," Talai said, "but they are afraid." As if on cue, a communication request appeared on the screen. The signal was weak, heavily encrypted, and bouncing through multiple relays. "They don't want to be traced," Aaron said. He accepted the request. A distorted image appeared, an alien with wide eyes and pale blue skin. Its breathing was fast, nervous. "Human vessel," the alien said. "You were seen resisting the Dominion." Aaron nodded. "That was us." The alien swallowed. "That was unwise and brave." "We don't see a difference," Aaron replied. The alien hesitated. "The Dominion does not forgive. They will bring more ships." "Bigger ones?" "I figured," Aaron said calmly. "Others have noticed," the alien continued. "Some believe humans may be useful." Talai stiffened. "Useful?" Aaron raised a hand slightly, a human gesture meant to calm. "Let's hear them out," the alien nodded. "There is a gathering. Neutral space. Those who wish to survive Dominion expansion are meeting. They wish to see if humanity is what the rumors say." Aaron glanced at Talai. "Rumors?" She nodded slowly. "Stories travel fast, especially when fear is involved." The transmission ended shortly after, leaving the bridge quiet. "They want to judge us," Aaron said. "They want hope," Talai corrected. "And hope is dangerous." Aaron smiled faintly. "That's kind of our thing." They adjusted course toward the meeting point. As they traveled, Aaron sent encrypted data bursts toward known human outposts. He did not explain everything, just enough to warn them that something big was coming. The meeting place was an abandoned station orbiting a dead star. Its lights flickered weakly, power barely holding. Ships of many designs hovered nearby, maintaining distance from one another. Aaron guided the EOS Explorer forward. As they approached, multiple sensor locks snapped onto the ship. "Everyone's nervous," Aaron said. "That's fair." They docked carefully. Inside the station, the air was stale but breathable. Aaron and Talai stepped into a wide chamber where dozens of beings waited. Tall, short, scaled, furred, glowing. Species Aaron had only seen in files, and some he had never seen at all. The room fell silent as they entered. A tall figure stepped forward, its voice echoed softly. "You are human." Yes, Aaron said simply. You faced the Zerath Dominion and lived, the figure continued. Yes, Aaron repeated. Murmurs spread through the crowd. You did not surrender, another voice said. You did not flee immediately. No, Aaron said. We adapted. The tall figure studied him. Why? Aaron did not answer right away. Then he said, because if you never push back, the line keeps moving. Eventually, there's nowhere left to stand. The words resonated through the chamber. Some looked hopeful, others looked afraid. Talai stepped forward. The Dominion destroyed my world. They hunt survivors. They will not stop. A ripple of emotion moved through the gathered beings. Many had similar stories. The question, the tall figure said, is whether humanity is willing to stand with us. Aaron met its gaze. The question is whether you're willing to stand with us. That surprised them. We are not conquerors, Aaron continued. We don't want your worlds. But we won't bow quietly. If we fight alone, we lose. If we fight together, we have a chance. Silence followed. Then another being spoke. The Dominion fleet is mobilizing. They are calling this a correction. Talai's hands clenched. They mean to erase resistance. Aaron nodded. Then we make resistance expensive. The meeting continued for hours. Information was shared. Old battle footage, weaknesses in Dominion tactics, lost worlds, failed rebellions. One truth became clear. Everyone had tried to resist alone, and everyone had failed until now. As the meeting ended, some ships departed quickly, unwilling to be part of what was coming. Others stayed. They'll remember today, Talai said as they returned to the Eos Explorer. So will the Dominion, Aaron replied. Back aboard the ship, alarms chimed softly. Long-range sensors lit up again. Contact, Aaron said. Multiple jump signatures. The Dominion fleet was arriving faster than expected. They tracked us, Talai said quietly. They always do, Aaron said, but now they won't find us alone. He opened a channel to the gathered ships. This is Commander Aaron Voss of the Eos Explorer. If you're leaving, now's the time. If you're staying, form up behind us. For a moment, nothing happened. Then one ship moved, then another, then several more. A loose formation began to take shape. Talai watched, eyes shining. They're following you? They're following the idea, Aaron corrected. Humans just happened to say it out loud. The Dominion ships emerged from jump space like dark shadows, bigger than before, heavier. Confident, a broadcast echoed through every channel. Cold, absolute. Surrender the asset, withdraw from this space. Aaron responded immediately. No. There was a pause, then the Dominion advanced. Energy fire lit the void. The Allied ships reacted, some clumsily, some with skill. The Eos Explorer darted forward, not attacking directly but disrupting formations, drawing fire, creating openings. Humans had learned long ago that battles were not won by strength alone, but by timing. A Dominion cruiser turned too slowly. A smaller Allied ship struck its engines. Another hit followed. They're learning, Talai said. So are we, Aaron replied. The battle was chaotic, not clean, not perfect, but something new was happening. The Dominion was being challenged. Minutes felt like hours. Ships were damaged. Some withdrew, but the Allied line held. Finally, the Dominion fleet pulled back, not retreating but reassessing. They're not finished, Talai said. No, Aaron agreed, but neither are we. As silence returned, the Allied ships remained together. For the first time, they did not scatter in fear. A message came through from one of the captains. Human commander, what do we call this alliance? Aaron thought for a moment. Call it what it is, he said. A line. A line? The captain asked. A line the Dominion crossed, Aaron said, and won't cross again easily. Far away, the Dominion commanders reviewed the battle data. Resistance had spread faster than expected. Worse, it was coordinated, and at the center of it all was one species. Humans, Part 3 ended with no final victory, only something far more dangerous to the Dominion. Unity. The Eos Explorer drifted through space, quiet now but tense. Commander Aaron Voss studied the starfield outside the viewport. After the skirmish near the abandoned station, the Allied ships had formed a loose fleet, moving cautiously through unclaimed space. Humans were good at adapting, and Aaron knew the Dominion would respond, but he did not know how fast. Talai stood beside him, her violet eyes scanning the distant fleet movements. The resonance pulse she had used earlier had drained her energy, but she still radiated a quiet intensity. They will not forget today, she said softly. I don't expect them to, Aaron replied. Humans had learned long ago that their reputation alone could sometimes prevent disaster. But that's okay. Humans also do not forget. The fleet ahead of them was uneven. Some ships were barely functional, patched together from old scrap. Others were new, powerful, and sleek. They looked at the ES Explorer with a mix of hope and skepticism. Humans often inspired confidence even when outnumbered. A sudden alert broke the calm. Sensors picked up a massive jump signature approaching from the edge of the sector. It was too large to be a single ship. Aaron frowned. "That's more than a fleet," he muttered. Tail stiffened. "The Dominion, they've brought reinforcements. This is no longer a test." Aaron activated the ship's alert systems. "All ships prepare for engagement. Shields up, engines on standby, weapons ready." "Stay close." His voice carried authority. Humans had a way of making allies follow without question. The Dominion fleet emerged from jump space like a wall of darkness. Ships of every size and shape moved in formation, coordinated and precise. Their weapons glinted in the light of nearby stars, and the energy signature from their engines suggested overwhelming power. "They've learned from our last encounter," Aaron said. "But learning takes time. Let's use theirs against them." Tail nodded. "What do you have in mind?" Aaron tapped rapidly on the navigation console. "We will split their focus. Humans are masters of unpredictability. They expect patterns. We will give them chaos." He guided the ES Explorer toward the center of the Allied formation. From there, the ship's movements would appear erratic, forcing the Dominion to adjust constantly. Small Allied ships followed the lead, weaving through the void, firing strategically. Humans excelled at making numbers count, even when outnumbered. The first salvo of energy blasts tore through space. The Dominion fired on the outer Allied ships, testing defenses, but Aaron had anticipated this. He adjusted the shields of nearby vessels using a coordinated network. Each ship acted in concert, amplifying protection where it was needed most. Tail focused her resonance field again, creating short pulses to disrupt the sensors of incoming Dominion ships. The effect was subtle but effective. Missiles veered off course. Targeting systems wavered. One cruiser spun uncontrollably before regaining orientation. "Good," Aaron said. "Keep them guessing." The battle became a complex dance. Humans used ingenuity and timing instead of sheer firepower. A smaller vessel guided a larger one into the path of an enemy ship, creating temporary confusion. Another human-engineered device projected false energy signatures, drawing fire away from vulnerable allies. Tail watched, impressed. "Your species, you fight differently than anyone I've seen." Aaron smiled faintly. We can't always win with force alone." The Dominion commander realized they were being outmaneuvered. They adjusted tactics, firing coordinated volleys meant to pin the ES Explorer and her allies. But Aaron anticipated this, leading his fleet in a pattern designed to stretch the Dominion's formation. A single human mind directing a diverse fleet could create openings even a superior force could not exploit easily. The battle raged for hours. Explosions lit distant space, energy arcs crackling like lightning through the void. Ships were damaged, some destroyed, yet the alliance held together. Humans had a way of turning small victories into larger advantages. Every maneuver seemed calculated yet unpredictable. In the center of the chaos, Aaron noticed the Dominion flagship separating from the formation. It aimed directly at the ES Explorer. Tail gasped. "They're targeting you?" "I expected that," Aaron said. "It's what leaders do, but we can turn it into an opportunity." He guided the Explorer into a narrow corridor of asteroid debris nearby. The Dominion flagship followed, but the path was treacherous. Rocks and metal fragments threatened to damage both ships. The ES Explorer, smaller and more maneuverable, darted through the debris with precision. Tail created another resonance pulse, temporarily disrupting the flagship's sensors. The Dominion ship collided with a large asteroid fragment, causing a massive explosion. Shrapnel tore through the void, and the lead ship was forced to retreat temporarily. The other Dominion vessels hesitated, recalculating their approach. Humans, they realized, were not like other species. They adapted, they learned, and they were relentless. "Allied ships press forward," Aaron commanded. "Hit their supply lines, disrupt formation, and maintain shield integrity. Focus on forcing them apart." The Allied fleet moved with renewed purpose. Smaller ships targeted communication arrays and engine cores, creating chaos within the Dominion ranks. Larger ships, guided by Aaron's strategy, struck where the enemy least expected. Each move was precise, a combination of instinct and careful calculation. Talai watched in awe. "You are incredible," she said. "I've never seen such coordination." Aaron shook his head. "It's not me alone, it's everyone working together. That's humanity, able to unite under impossible odds." As the Dominion faltered, one of their cruisers broke formation completely. It aimed a devastating energy cannon at a cluster of Allied ships. Talai realized the danger instantly. "I can stop it, but I will need full concentration." "Do it," Aaron said. "We can't let them destroy our center." She focused, her eyes glowing brightly. The energy pulse from her resonance field expanded outward, invisible but potent. The Dominion cannon misfired, exploding harmlessly in space. Several ships nearby veered off course. The Allied fleet surged forward, taking advantage of the momentary confusion. The Dominion formation began to fracture. Ships retreated, regrouped, and fired in desperation, but the human-led strategy kept them off balance. Aaron knew the battle was not over, but the tide had shifted. The Dominion, despite their power, had underestimated humans. Their rigid formations and predictable tactics made them vulnerable to creativity and adaptability. In the aftermath of the first major assault, the Allied fleet regrouped. Damage was significant but repairable. Talai leaned against the railing, exhausted. "I did not know humans could do this," she admitted. "Your species is remarkable." Aaron nodded. "We survive, we adapt, we fight back. It's what humans do." As the fleet repaired and resupplied, Aaron sent out encrypted messages to other distant colonies. Humanity's defiance was becoming known, and news traveled fast. Some races were inspired, others were wary. All would remember that a single human-led ship had survived against impossible odds. Talai joined Aaron on the bridge. "The Dominion will not forget this," she said quietly. "No," Aaron agreed, "but that's fine. Humans don't just survive. We make sure survival counts for more than ourselves." She looked at him. "Do you think they will bring everything they have next time?" "I hope so," Aaron said, his eyes steady, "because next time we'll be ready." And humans are never predictable. Far away, the Dominion command fleet observed the results. Analysts reported loss percentages, fleet fragmentation, and unexpected damage. But what disturbed the commanders most was not the physical loss, it was the strategy. The humans had forced a superior force into improvisation, exposed weaknesses in coordination, and united other species against the Dominion. "They are dangerous," the lead commander said finally. "Do not underestimate them again." Back aboard the EOS Explorer, Aaron and Talai prepared for the next move. Humans had won a small victory, but the larger war was only beginning. The alliance was fragile, the Dominion relentless, and the stakes higher than ever. But one truth remained. With ingenuity, courage, and unity, even the greatest forces could be challenged. And as the stars stretched ahead, the human-led fleet moved forward, ready for the next battle that would decide not only survival but the future of countless worlds. Part 4 ended with a clear message. The humans had proven themselves not only capable but extraordinary, and the galaxy would soon take notice. The space ahead was dark and quiet, but Commander Aaron Voss knew better than to trust silence. The Dominion fleet had retreated temporarily after the skirmish near the abandoned station and the first coordinated battle with the Allied fleet. But humans had learned one rule long ago: enemies rarely stayed away for long. Talai stood beside him on the bridge of the EOS Explorer. Her violet eyes glimmered in the soft light, reflecting both exhaustion and determination. "They will come again," she said. "They always do," Aaron replied. "But humans were good at surprises." Across the fleet, Allied ships adjusted their formations, readying shields, engines, and weapons. Some crews were frightened, others excited. Humans had a way of inspiring confidence even in the most hesitant allies. It was not just courage. They believed that cleverness could win what sheer numbers could not. Aaron checked the long-range sensors. Far beyond the fleet, several jump signatures appeared simultaneously. The Dominion had arrived, bigger than before, heavier, and coordinated. Every ship in the approaching fleet had a single purpose: to crush resistance. "They've brought everything they have," Talai said quietly. Aaron nodded. "Then it's time to make sure they learn why humans should never be underestimated." He sent a series of encrypted signals to the Allied ships. "Stay calm, stay together, and follow our lead. Humans will show you how to fight against impossible odds." The Dominion fleet advanced, energy beams glowing ominously against the stars. The first salvo struck the outer Allied ships. Explosions erupted, but the human-led fleet adapted immediately. Shields redirected power. Ships moved unpredictably, creating openings that would otherwise not exist. Humans had always excelled at turning small advantages into bigger ones. "Deploy decoys," Aaron ordered. Hundreds of small devices shot into space, mimicking the EOS Explorer's energy signature. Dominion targeting systems immediately diverted, aiming at false trails. Talai activated her resonance field, sending pulses that interfered with enemy sensors. Several Dominion ships veered off course, colliding with each other or asteroid fragments in the nearby belt. The EOS Explorer darted forward, leading a group of smaller Allied ships into a narrow asteroid corridor. The Dominion followed, but their large formations made them vulnerable. Aaron knew every twist and turn of the corridor. He had calculated the safest path while leaving traps for the enemy. "Keep moving," he shouted over the intercom. "If they want to fight, we'll give them one they won't forget." The Dominion flagship, larger and more heavily armed than any other ship, turned aggressively toward the EOS Explorer. Its energy cannon fired, grazing the smaller ship's shields. Sparks flared across the hull. Talai's pulse interrupted the targeting system, causing the shot to miss completely. "Nice timing," Aaron said, "but it's not enough." He quickly led the fleet in a feint, drawing the flagship into the asteroid corridor. As it followed, smaller Allied ships attacked from the sides, targeting engines and weapons. The flagship became trapped temporarily, unable to maneuver without risking collisions. Talai's resonance pulse grew stronger. Each pulse disrupted enemy sensors, turning the Dominion's strength against them. Energy weapons misfired, guidance systems failed, and several ships were forced to retreat or collide. "Humans fight differently than anyone expects," Talai said in awe. Aaron nodded. "We survive. We adapt, and we make every move count." The battle intensified. Dominion ships regrouped and tried to outflank the Allied fleet. Aaron anticipated their movements, guiding small squadrons to block attacks while leaving paths open for counterattacks. Each move was precise, yet unpredictable. Humans had learned long ago that creativity could overwhelm brute force. A Dominion cruiser launched a concentrated energy blast toward the EOS Explorer. Aaron led the ship into a spinning maneuver, dodging the attack while smaller Allied ships targeted the cruiser's engines. Explosions rocked the vessel, forcing it to retreat. "Good," Aaron said. "Keep it up." Even as the battle raged, humans looked for opportunities beyond destruction. They disrupted supply lines, disabled communications, and forced the Dominion into chaotic formations. Every small victory mattered. Every small advantage added up. Talai felt her energy waning but did not stop. Her pulses became sharper, more precise, targeting enemy sensors at critical moments. The Dominion ships could not predict where the next interference would strike. Each miscalculation cost them heavily. Hours passed. Space was littered with debris from destroyed or damaged ships. The Allied fleet, guided by humans, had endured. The Dominion, despite their overwhelming numbers, had suffered unexpected losses. And the message was clear. Humans did not yield, even when facing impossible odds. Aaron saw a chance. The Dominion flagship had been isolated during the chaos. He led the EOS Explorer along with two heavily armed Allied vessels toward it. "This is our moment," he said. "Strike carefully, but strike hard. Disable the lead ship and the rest will lose coordination." Talai prepared her strongest pulse yet. "This may exhaust me completely," she warned. "Do it," Aaron said. "We need every advantage." The pulse fired. Energy waves disrupted the flagship systems, leaving it vulnerable. Allied ships concentrated fire on engines, weapons, and shields. Sparks and explosions lit the void. The massive vessel, once unstoppable, now struggled to maintain formation. "Direct hit," one Allied captain shouted. "They're breaking." Aaron's strategy worked. The flagship faltered and the Dominion fleet began to retreat. Smaller ships turned back, leaving the remaining forces scattered. Humans and their allies had survived. Humans had turned chaos into victory. Talai slumped slightly, exhausted. "It's done," she whispered. Aaron placed a hand on her shoulder. "Not just done," he said. "We made a statement. The Dominion learned that humans are not to be underestimated." Across the fleet, Allied captains cheered quietly. They had survived, guided by a human leader who had used strategy, courage, and adaptability to win against a far larger force. Even as repairs began, Aaron knew the war was far from over. The Dominion would return stronger and more prepared. But humanity had proved something critical. Numbers and power alone could not guarantee victory. Ingenuity, unity, and determination mattered as much, or more. Talai looked at Aaron. You said humans were unpredictable. I see it now. You make strength from hope, courage, and creativity, not weapons alone. Aaron nodded. That's what makes humans humans. As the Allied fleet repaired, communication channels opened with distant species. Messages spread rapidly. Humans were alive, humans had led an alliance, humans had challenged the Dominion and survived. Stories of ingenuity and courage traveled faster than any fleet could move. The Dominion, meanwhile, regrouped far away. Analysts reviewed the losses and unexpected tactics of the humans. Their conclusion was unanimous. Humans were dangerous, far beyond what they had predicted. Back aboard the Eos Explorer, Aaron and Talai prepared for the next phase. Supplies were replenished, ships repaired, and crews rested. But both knew this was only the beginning. The Dominion would return and the galaxy would watch carefully. Humans had become more than survivors. They had become a symbol, a spark of resistance. A reminder that even the greatest forces could be challenged with courage, unity, and strategy. And Commander Aaron Voss, standing on the bridge beside Talai, looked out at the stars and smiled. The galaxy had underestimated humanity. That mistake would be remembered forever. Talai placed a hand on the console. What now? She asked. Now, Aaron said, we prepare, we learn, we fight, and we make sure that when they return, the outcome will be very different. In the darkness of space, the Eos Explorer and the Allied fleet moved forward together, ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. The Dominion might control numbers, weapons, and territory, but humanity controlled something far more powerful, the will to survive, adapt, and triumph against impossible odds. And with that will, the galaxy's story had changed forever.